Well, this life-wide learning funds related to learning activities of students. Now it seems that you use a dedicated fund to support it. Is that a need? On teaching and on counseling or guidance, would you set up separate funds? So under what circumstance would you use a fund? Under what circumstance will you use recurrent expenditure? I still can't get a grasp of it so far. I would like to ask if it is done by way of a fund. When the grant reaches schools, are there restrictions in its uses? Say, for example, they're required to report the amount used. Will there be dedicated forms or reports? To be submitted to the government? If it is recurrent expenditure, it can be seen under heads. If it is a dedicated fund, that means they will have to do additional work to report it. From the comments I've received, a lot of principals said that they have to prepare a lot of dedicated reports for small amounts. So I would like to ask about the criteria for the setting up of the fund as well as reporting requirements. Please answer. The first one is why it's not a recurrent expenditure. Well, this is to support poor students, whether it is recurrent or a fund. It's one of the financial arrangements at the disposal of the government. There will be a $900 million annual amount under a life-wide learning fund to support learning activities. The reporting requirements under the fund, we adopt the approach of the Charities Trust and try to keep it simple. We want to make clear to parents and schools about how to use the fund. There is no need to create a separate account. Every year, the amount will go through. Sorry, I need to clarify. Yes, there needs to be a separate account, but there is no separate reporting requirement. Every year, the report will be submitted to the Education Bureau after it has been audited. So, a separate account. What is the implication to the work of schools? I'll defer to my colleagues. Whether it is a fund or a recurrent expenditure is not necessarily related to a separate account. For recurrent expenditure, we may require them to create a separate account so that it will be clear in the auditing. So it's not directly related to whether it's a fund or not. So the Deputy Secretary said that if it is recurrent expenditure, they may require a separate account. So there is no direct relationship. If the funding is given by way of a fund, is it a must to separate the account? Yes, there is the need for a dedicated account. So there it is. That's the relations. As we said, that even for recurrent expenditure, there is a need. There may be a need, depending on the nature, for a separate account to be created.